Hi, we're Chris and Teresa, and we would love to guide you on your fiber arts journey. We own a successful fiber processing mill and online needle felting business, experienced at raising all fiber animals, and have renovated a 100-year-old school into a fiber arts retreat center.
Processing, needle felting, yarn, roving, fiber animals, and sustainable agriculture are all topics discussed here. Think of this as your one-stop shop for advice, information, tips, and getting your questions answered on all things from farm to needle. So pull up a seat, make sure you're cozy, and get ready to be inspired while you learn. This is EweTube.
Welcome to EweTube196. We are coming at you, well, not live, but from the EweTube
studio.
Mm-hmm.
Not the barn. I've actually left the farm
She has escaped
for the first time in a month.
because the 10 ewes that are left have paused.
They're totally paused. There's been 10 waiting to have their babies for a week. And then nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I'm just sit there every day waiting and nothing.
Yeah.
But I have caught some lambs coughing and so
But you've corrected that.
hopefully we've treated them.
Yep.
So that, I mean, that's the important part of this time of year. So you have to like just continually make
Monitor.
sure all the lambs are healthy.
Yep.
And any kind of coughing, you treat them immediately because that means pneumonia is setting in. So tonight before we came, we chased down 3 of them that I had heard coughing. So I go out there during the day and just mark down, I heard this one coughing and this one coughing. And so then Jeff and I will go
And what do you do?
treat them.
Give them penicillin or?
give them Nuflor and Draxxin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are they shots or is
Yes.
this oral?
Shots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. There's just so much.
There is. There's
So
a lot.
much. Oofta. Okay, we had a wonderful, we do a monthly pepper rally, and we had that out at the sheep farm, which was really fun to get all the employees out there, and we tipped over. We were going out there. There was 4 of us in the vehicle. I'm like, I wonder what we're gonna sit on. And here she had buckets ready for us. It was so cool.
Turned upside down.
We turned upside down, so we were all ready, and it worked wonderful. And the pep rally, what it is we gather all the employees together, and we kind of
Go through
the month and what we've
our goals.
and so we do team building, and we kind of just gather and you know, for an example, the last week or so, all of the staff I've kind of gathered together because Teresa has been busy with the lambs. Yes, and we are busy getting ready, marking products and getting ready for Shepherd's Harvest. So it's kind of been all hands on deck for that. And these poor, you know, I never said, okay, this is what Shepherd's Harvest is. They just knew we were going and they had to get ready, and so we
explained that during
we
the pep
explained what
rally.
Shepherd's Harvest was, and a lot of you, we have been contacted by you YouTubers out here. Thank you very much. Are going to meet us there and going to come.
Yes,
so
we
we're
can't
excited
wait.
about that. Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
I'm really looking forward to Shepherd's Harvest because I feel like I'm on the, you know, I've done all the work, you know, getting these babies into the world, and it does feel like kind of a celebration harvest time for me.
Yeah, it's
So I'm
and it's at the end. I'm hoping these. Okay, what's going to happen if these 10 ewes don't?
There's 2 that are really close.
Okay, and you can tell that. Why? How do you know that?
So their udders are really
filling
out,
and they're kind of sunken in.
And well, not really sunken in yet.
Okay.
But their udders are really filling out.
Okay.
So I mean, they're definitely pregnant. I don't know why it's taking them so long after everybody else, but
Yep.
there's a couple that look really, really ready. But we've thought that before with ewes and somebody that doesn't have an udder at all will give birth.
Oh goodness.
So
Oh goodness.
And that's why we have 2 in the pen of those that are going to give birth that we're questioning why they're in the pen.
They don't even look pregnant.
Right. And so maybe they're not, but what made us put them in there, I don't know. Jeff was in charge of that. I was running the sorting gate thing, and
left,
he would put them out here or put them here, and he said these 2 go in here. But now since then he's thought,
not sure about that.
Maybe they shouldn't be in there.
Yeah.
Because we're just watching that pen. I watch him on the camera just to make sure everything is fine with them. So. And then every day I go out, and when I'm feeding the bottle lambs, I walk through both. So we have what we call a geriatric pen, which they need more food, and we have the healthy pen, and I walk through them and listen for any coughing, any heavy breathing, look at any lambs so if they have their ears are hanging down, that means they're not feeling well. Any ewes, that's important this time of year to just make sure, and if there's anybody that looks like they're hungry, that means that their mom doesn't have enough milk, or they're not letting them nurse. And so that's what this time of year is all about.
So it takes time. It's not like you can just look out there and go, yeah, all looks good. No, you need to literally spend some time and walk around it.
And just listen for things. So it takes many times a day when I go out there. So the bucket baby lambs, they have a bucket, and I've
2 buckets.
2 buckets, and which have like several nipples around the sides, and you need to keep them full because they just need to have access to it all the time. And if they run out, then they start chewing on the nipples. And
gosh.
They chew the nipples right off, and then I walk through all the other sheep. If I hear any coughing, then I mark down their number, and then when Jeff comes home, we treat them. Because if they have pneumonia, we did lose one to pneumonia that we had been treating. We had talked to the vet, everything. We were hopeful, but
doing all you could do, and
there was no saving the lamb, and it did die. And so
Mom's okay?
Mom's okay.
Yep.
Yeah, she was sad, and it was hard to see. It's hard to watch. She was a very good mother. And so it's hard to see her looking for a baby, and she'll always like look at us like you took it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. Oof. But we've only had we had 3 today that I had found coughing today.
Okay.
And sometimes if you pick them up, you can listen to their lungs, and you can hear the raspy, and you can just see the way they're breathing that it's really bad. So these had just coughed, and I didn't hear anything in their lungs, so it's hopeful that we've caught it quick enough. So, and that's what we were hoping with that first one that passed away. We had thought we had got it caught, quick enough. It was still in the jug when we first noticed that there was an issue, that maybe there was some, coughing and some
what the world
breathing, shortness of breath. But and we treated him 2 different times, and we had called the vet, and he still didn't make it.
Ah.
Yeah. So we're trying to prevent that from happening with any more. And like today we had 3 that we needed to treat, and so hopefully that does it. And like I said, I didn't hear any issues in their lungs. You can sometimes just hear it rattling, like even when you're walking by them, you can hear the rattling. But I didn't hear any of that with these, so hopefully we got them soon enough.
Right away. I'm sure that makes a difference to get the antibiotics on board and
right away. Yeah. Yeah, because we've been told many times that as soon as you hear a cough, cough,
get them.
You give them some antibiotics. So that's what we do.
Very good. And on the note of having new lambs and the spring, Teresa and I, this was the first time that we have gotten into the new pasture where the alpacas, the llamas, where our education herd will reside. And I'm sure popping up now are some pictures. And we looked in the barn and where they're going to
So that where they can find shelter
Right,
and
right,
shade.
right. Because the barn directly behind the school is going to be the Animal Education Center, where we bring them up for educational purposes, but they will not live there. They will live in the south barn, and yeah, and that's where the
Everything went good.
yep, everything looked great. It needs
And it's,
some
you know, it was
shingles, and it needs
some
a little bit
patches on the
of
walls.
repair, but otherwise it's structurally sound and everything looks great. So we've ordered the electricity to be brought into that barn because it does not have electricity right now, and then also electricity to the Ritchie waterer, and then we need to bring water in there as well. So
And then the next is fence.
yep. So as soon as that's done, then we'll fence, and then we'll
Have animals here.
we'll have the animals
Yeah, and we're
here.
really
We're
excited about that for
Yes.
this summer.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. It's the most requested.
Part of what we do.
Yeah, that's missing.
That we've been promising from the beginning and
Yes.
we don't have it yet. So.
Yes, so we're excited. We're excited. Yeah, and then oh goodness, I had such a wonderful weekend because I actually took a class. I took the broom class.
So it was a whisk broom.
A whisk broom. It was called a turkey leg whisk broom because it had kind of a bend to it, and it was
So why is that a turkey leg?
because it looked like a turkey leg, like a.
That's a wing.
Well, a turkey leg. I don't know. Turkey leg, wing. I don't know. Anyway, that's what it was called because it has a bend to it. So then when you use it as a whisk broom, it's kind of bent in, and then you just
Like
yeah,
a
it works really
turkey.
well, like a turkey leg whisk broom. I don't know. It was super fun.
I wish I could have.
Okay, I am committed to learning more how to do this. So we are going to have a little community garden just on the other side of, well, right next to my hubby's my hubby's shop. And dear Mariella gave me a little jar of corn or broom corn, which is sorghum, to grow, and yeah, we're gonna make little brooms.
What was she doing with the?
Because she grew sorghum, broom
For a
corn, to make brooms. And she did this about 5 years ago. And she made a broom, and she did not know how to properly connect it to the handle. So she used, I think it was, what did she say? She used some type of clamps and lots of duct tape. And she has used this broom. She brought it to show my mom,
really?
because my mom, I drug her all around Fargo once looking for a corn broom because they're the best. And
Did she show the teacher her broom?
no, she didn't bring it. No, she should have. So she has been using that for about 5 years now. So she actually grew the corn, the broom corn, which is sorghum, and made this broom. And she brought it, and someone's coming down.
Libby. Libby.
We're bringing her on. So
She's
hold
coming
on.
onto
We
YouTube.
we have Libby come. Come on in, Libby.
Trying to see if the embroidery stand will work for her coat. That's all.
Oh, that would be good YouTube
What'd she
material. She's making this coat. Have you seen it?
No, what is she making it out of?
She's embroidering the back of her coat, and it's adorable. And she's coming down to get this little stand to see if it would help her, because she's
the one
using
that-
this little hoop.
The one that
Okay, well, I'll get a picture.
maybe.
You're sneaky.
Isn't this your favorite coat?
She has two the same
Oh,
color.
she does? Okay.
Do not. One's green and
Well,
one's
kind
brown.
of not the same color, but kind of.
They're very
Ouch!
There's a needle in it.
Oh my gosh, Libby.
It's also upside down.
So this is,
Oh, put it right side.
oh, that's so cute. Okay, so we just had to pause for a moment because Libby, Teresa's daughter, was down here looking for a support, a form,
I'd call it stand.
A
Yeah.
There's a stand.
Okay, a stand, because she's working on, did you freehand this?
Yes.
I drew it on there, yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's
why
it's an
it's
embroidery. It's the back of a coat and it's embroidered, and she has freehanded the pattern, and she's been using just a embroidery hoop, and she was hoping to get a little larger work surface support for this. And look at it, isn't it beautiful? Thank you, Libby, for sharing that. That was so cool.
Yes.
And one thing, this last Thursday, we have Thirsty Thursday here every Thursday from 5 to 9 here at the Gnome Schoolhouse. So anyone can come and partake of homemade pizzas, appetizers, the bar is open, so on and so forth. And this last Thursday was Textile Awareness Day. It was National Textile Day. And
Something like that.
Yes, and one of our, Julie, we thank her so much, she put together this, it was 80 pictures of make it to wool.
Make it with wool.
Make it with wool.
It was a competition.
Yes,
That every state has
Yep.
a competition of make it with wool.
Yep.
And then you make it to nationals.
Yep. And it was pretty cool. And it was wonderful. And we had that running so that folks, and it was so neat to see so many folks would sit down and watch the whole, because it took a little while to get through 80 videos or 80 pictures, through a slideshow. And that was pretty cool. And one of well, actually two of the pictures happened to be of Libby. And yeah, because she made it to nationals in
2015.
So the pictures of her,
So she knit
winning.
an entire dress.
it was beautiful, beautiful.
That was amazing. And so she went to nationals that year in Las Vegas, I think it was.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool.
So that was the
on there.
second time she had done it, and it was the Woolly Women, which is the group I'm in, that encouraged her to.
And Julie is also in
Julie,
there. Yep.
Julie helped her to sew this. The first dress that she made helped her to sew the entire dress, and then the second time she did it, she knit the entire dress, which it looks like
amazing.
fabric. And so I have pictures, which I'll probably share here, that at the local competition in North Dakota, they were grabbing her skirt while she was standing there. It's like, is this really knit? Because it looks kind of like fabric.
It was amazing.
It's
Because it was, I can't even imagine how long it took her. Because it was so fine. It was just such a fine yarn. Oh, it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. And I remember her in Fargo when she modeled it for the Make It With Wool contest in Fargo. I was there as a vendor of that fiber festival. And I was like, I would love for us to have that dress on display here at the school sometime.
We've had her bring it down several times.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
It literally should be on display. So anyway, okay. So we are going to be growing broom corn across the school, and we are going
Across the school.
across from the school in the community
Garden at Chris's house.
Yes, and we're going to have this amazing instructor that taught us how to weave these little whisk brooms. She's going to come back for
You wove them?
Yeah, it's woven. It is woven. Which I thought it was just like going to be wrapping.
Wrapped around the top.
No, you separate the corn broom into so many different piles, and then you weave it with the nylon cord stretched very tight, and then you weave that all so that it holds it all.
So why would somebody want one? Why would somebody want to make one? Because
It was so much fun, and it smells so good. I mean, the sorghum really, it just, yeah, and there's nothing that works better on concrete than
and guess what Chris's house is?
concrete.
Solid.
Our floor is concrete everywhere. And yeah, it's amazing. There's nothing that works as good. There's a reason they used to have traveling salesmen going door to door selling corn brooms, because they truly are the best. And now what do you find? Go and try to find a corn broom in your town. It's just about impossible. Yeah. And it's all synthetic. And so it's nylon bristles, and yeah, there's just nothing that works.
Yeah, so if
as
you're
good.
thinking of, like, when you throw your broom away,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, this is natural.
This
All
is natural. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was fun to do.
It was super fun to do.
And hopefully
it
we're
really
going to have her
was.
back to do
Yes.
just like regular size brooms instead of whisk brooms.
Yes. And so we asked her that because all of us that were there, we had so much fun. We're like, we want to do one of the big brooms. And she said, oh boy, she said, those would be a 2-day. And I said,
We're ready.
perfect. Yes, we'll stay overnight. We'll have a wonderful time. And so she's putting together a 2-day, I guess you would call it a retreat then.
Yes.
Of broom making, and then it would be a full-size broom instead of just a whisk broom. So we're all looking for it. And we all said, yep, sign us up. We'd take that. So pretty cool.
yeah.
Pretty
So-
cool. So watch for that. Because there wasn't a lot of folks we only had 5 folks that signed up for the whisk broom. And I don't know why, because we've done so many classes here, and I've not partaken of very many of them. And this was pretty cool. And I was able to,
Just to
it
learn
worked out.
anything new.
Yes. And to work with the
learn how to
natural
make your own
fibers.
broom.
And oh my gosh, it was super cool. Super cool. And to know that you can grow the broom
Sorghum.
corn. Yeah, the sorghum, and you can do this. It was like, oh my goodness, yeah.
So Chris is
Pretty
going to
cool.
grow it in her garden
I am.
across from the school. My dad used to grow it, like entire
Fields of it.
full, for silage for the cows feed. So, but
Awesome.
my brother, who has the farm now, doesn't do that because he has chickens. They don't eat silage.
No.
But yeah, that would have been handy. Somebody
been
around
very
here has to
handy.
have a field full of silage. We'll
So
find out.
we're gonna
So-
have to talk to Mike Peterson, see about that. Yeah. Okay, and then what day was this that the bull had an incident?
a couple days ago.
Yep, I asked Teresa, how's it going today? Any babies? And she said, this is how my day started. And she showed me a picture of a bull stuck on a fence.
Right. So I had woke up that morning thinking I'm gonna get so much done today because there's no lambs coming, and so
'Cause
I
they
should
paused.
be able. Yeah. So I should be able to get so much done online on the website, and yeah. And so that's how I woke up and had the plan for the day, and I looked out and there's a bunch of cows out, so I went to chase them in and noticed that the bull must have broke down the fence. Because there was a cow in heat in this other pen. So he had broke out of his pen and had attempted to jump into the pen with her, but didn't quite make it. So we have these panels that usually prevent.
Aren't they called like bull panels?
Well, they're continuous fence. And so I went out there and there he is. He's hanging on this fence, and it's like, now what do I do? I'm here all by myself, and he's hanging there and he's breathing heavy. I just worried that he's not going to be, okay. And so my husband is working. He can't come. I called 2 of my boys, and they said, you're going to have to cut the panel with the torch. So I went in the garage and looked at the torch. I was like, I've never run the torch.
Don't know how to do this.
I guess you just make a flame with this thing and you cut. And I was like, how soon could you be here? Are you guys farming? Because they both work for farmers. And they weren't. And I was like, good.
Perfect.
You can come.
Get your butt over here, huh?
So yeah, my one son was coming. They were both about equal distance. And they got on their way, and they were going pretty fast. And I said, he's breathing funny, and there's like white stuff coming out of his nose. I'm really concerned. There was like bolts I could take out of the panel, and I was like, but you know, if I did that, it's still going to be hooked up on this other panel. It's not going to fall off. And I really don't know what's going to happen if I did that. And they were both, no, you need to cut it. And so I went and looked at this torch again. I was like, I don't think I can do that. And so I was going to haul it all the way out there, but I didn't. And so then I was like, I can't stand, while I'm waiting for the boys to come, I can't stand watching this bull suffering. And, you know, in my head, he was going to die. Hanging there like that. And I was like, okay, I'll go mix up some milk for the lambs while I wait for the boys. And I was doing that, and I looked out the window, and I was like, he's not there anymore. And so I go outside, and he is laying next to the fence.
So how did the boys get him out? How did he get out?
No, the boys weren't there yet.
So he got himself.
Somehow, because the entire time I'm thinking I should put something under his front feet so that he has leverage, you know, to get himself off of there. And I couldn't find anything. And he was flailing all over the place. And I was like, I don't know, I'm going to get hurt. And he's going to wreck whatever I put under him. But somehow he got off of it. And then he laid by the fence with his feet up on the fence. And so if a cow, they have 4 stomachs, so if they lay on their back too long or on their side, or almost their back, and they can't get up, they will eventually die. And I knew that, and I went out there, and it's like texting the boys this picture. It's like, okay, this is now what I'm dealing with. How close are you? Oof. Because I can't lift him up. I don't know how to lift him up. And when I talked to Jeff, he's like, get the tractor, and you get over there with a bucket and you lift him up. So I went and started the tractor so it was ready. And then I went over to check the bull again, hoping the boys would come so I didn't have to do it myself. And he was laying there, like he was giving up, and he was like breathing weird. And it's like, I think he's gonna die. And so I just kind of kicked him. I kicked him several times, saying, you're not gonna die. Stop doing this.
Yes.
Just get up. You're laying on your side here. You can get up. And several kicks irritated him enough that he actually did get up. I was so happy. But and we've run into this before, when a bull is hurt, they're not happy. And they somehow think it's you that did it, they're not happy. And so he immediately, right away, started pawing. I'm like, okay.
And you were in the pen with him?
Yeah, well, it wasn't in the pen. It was outside of the pen.
Okay.
But I was standing right there, and I was like, okay, now I need to get him in the pen. I need to get him, you know, not... Because he immediately, after that, went right over to the fence and was going to jump again. Because there was a cow in heat on the other side.
Yes.
And so Casey was very, very close. He had driven very, very fast to get there to save this bull. And I said, if you're that close, can you just continue? Because this bull wants to kill me, and I need to get him in this pen so that he doesn't try and jump this fence again. So then he came, and we got him in the pen. And so we had the gate open between the 2 pens. He was seriously thinking of jumping over the... Instead of going around where the gate was open, he was seriously thinking, I'm going to jump over
I'm just going to jump the fence again.
So he learned nothing from this experience where he almost died. It was very, very, very stressful for me. I thought this bull was expensive. We can't lose a bull.
So anyway, so how did it end?
He was fine.
He was fine.
He did get to breed the cow.
So he was happy in the end.
It all ended well. He got what he wanted, and he's now back in his pen where he belongs.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
What the world?
So when I told Jeff this is what's going on, he was very worried about it.
Yes.
He can't like leave work.
Oh, yes.
So, and he said, do you see that gate across the way? He did that too. So there's a gate that's just totally caved in. And
So this is like the second time he tried to scale.
He's just naughty.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And so the funny thing, yesterday I got a text from so Jeff's cousin's wife, and I said, this is how my day is going. And I sent the picture of the bull. And she's like, oh no, I hope he's okay. So then I sent the next picture, which is him laying there. But
Looking
he
very
looks
dead.
very, very dead.
Yes.
And
Little legs are up there.
Right. I don't know, it made me laugh for a long time. I don't know.
And that's what you gotta do.
And the funny thing is, so that day I had posted this post on my website about the realities of farming. And I was like,
the blog. That was your blog.
Yes. It's funny that this should happen today, because this is the realities of farm life.
Yep.
You're there all alone. You don't know what to do.
Yep.
I'm going to have to learn how to cut things with a torch.
To
Who knew?
release
I
a
didn't
bull
know.
that wanted to get into another pen.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I didn't know.
So check that blog post out.
That was all about raising sheep and the difficulties. But
yes.
it had nothing to do with bulls. But that was what I was experiencing that day. And it was kind of funny how it all went down.
Oh boy.
But it ended well.
This is
It was
good.
very,
Bull
very
is fine.
stressful. I had
Back
so
where
much,
he belongs.
I did not get anything done.
Well,
That
how
whole
would you?
entire
Yes.
morning.
Oh my goodness.
While I was
Oof.
trying to
Oof.
make sure he lived.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Okay. So on that note, how long does lambing usually take? That's our one and only question this week. Teresa?
So it's usually about a month.
About a month. So why are you waiting for these 10 ewes to lamb?
So we keep the rams out there for so long.
Yep.
I'm not sure what was going on this past week.
They took a break and then just decided to hit a
and-
couple
and
more.
I don't know if you were watching last fall on how the breeding pens were going. You'll see that they were breaking through. They were getting out. It was a mess. And maybe that's what was going on. I don't know why. So we have 10 ewes that are they're pregnant, that are waiting for something.
Just waiting.
Yeah. I haven't checked to see if Jeff has had any while I've been here.
And Teresa and Libby and myself are escaping to Shepherd's Harvest, which we talked about earlier that some of you are coming to. We're excited to see you there. And
Really looking forward to it.
Golly goodness, I hope they
Getting away.
get to do their,
If they don't, they're on their own.
they're on their own. Yikes. Oofda. Okay. And last week we had I had the pleasure of sitting in the baby bucket pen, and our question was, how many lambs are in the baby bucket pen as of that
It's actually
day?
bucket baby.
What did I
don't know
say?
why.
Bucket baby
Baby
pen.
bucket. This sounds wrong.
Okay, I'm sorry. Bucket baby pen. And the answer was?
24.
And Lori E, you dear one, and I miss you. You need to come see us again. Guessed 25, and she was the closest.
very,
So
very close.
congratulations.
Which is way more than we normally have, but we're being extra cautious this year.
Yep.
And
Yep. And they're doing good. They're
they're
all
all
doing
doing amazing. And last night, Jeff opened it up so that they could get into a bigger pen, so that they could run and play. And
good. Maybe next week we'll.
Yeah, so hopefully, maybe by the time I edit this, I can add at the end.
Oh,
where we let them out.
fun.
Because they're now all in this little pen, and they don't get to run and jump and play.
So they get to go out a little bit.
Yeah, because we're waiting for these 10 ewes to have their babies, so that
Do their thing.
these lambs can have their pen and run around and play. But he let them out the other night because he enjoys this.
I love it.
And then he forgets that he doesn't have his phone and he couldn't take a video. Otherwise, I would share that. But hopefully,
You'll get one. Next week's question is, Teresa, you have to introduce this one.
so last night I got this little cartoon thing from my friend Jenny, and it was a picture of a ram and a lamb and a ding dong.
And a ding dong is
And I thought it was hilarious.
like a
And
little,
I showed it to my
a little-
I showed it to my husband, and he's like, I don't get it. I showed it to Chris. I don't get it. Do you get it? Can you explain it?
Can you explain it? I'd like to know. Come join us at Shepherd's Harvest if you can
If you're in the area.
If you're in the area.
If you need to fly in, that's okay too.
That's okay. It's, Minneapolis, cheap flights. Yeah.
We'd love to meet you.
Yes, we have.
But if you're going to fly into
giant-
Minneapolis, you could just as well fly into here and just come for a retreat
Yeah.
and a tour.
Yeah. Just book a room and stay and, yeah.
Meet the animals. That'll be here. The end of June. The end of
Very
June.
Soon. Is that the deadline? We have to get the electricity and the water in first, and then we're bringing them on. And if any of you are available in August, we have a teacher coming here from out west, way out west, Oregon, Washington, somewhere out there.
You have no idea. I
Not
think she's
sure.
from Colorado. It's not as far west as you think.
Anyway, she.
I don't really know. She's teaching a class about Angora rabbits and their
I'm taking
fiber.
it.
Yes.
If you want to come and join me in a class, we have lots of fun.
And she's also teaching how to spin cotton, which is
And
a
make
little bit different than spinning wool.
Yep, and make your
a
own
little
blending board. So this is kind of exciting because you are going to go home with your own blending board, and they are super fun.
That you
super
made
fun.
yourself.
Yes, yeah.
And if you have a blending board, then you can blend all these different fibers and make the most amazing yarn.
Yep.
Yes.
It is so much fun. So much fun.
Yeah, we're looking forward to those classes.
Yep. That's in August, so you got plenty of time to plan your flights, and we'll pick you up at the airport.
We definitely will.
Definitely.
There's more classes. I just can't think of what they are.
Yeah, so just head in over to the university, eweuniversity.org, and they're all listed on there.
And we're always adding new.
Always.
We have some in the works right now that aren't on there.
Yep.
And so you will find them, hopefully, when you go to university.org.
Yep.
Sign up for the newsletter. Follow us on Facebook.
We've got lots of big things in store for you all this summer. We are so excited to be rolling out all sorts of
It's
wonderfulness. It is. God bless you. Thank you all for joining with us. We're so happy to be back in the studio.
We are.
Well, you are happy to be back. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's very nice to be back.
Yep.
It's time to leave the farm.
Yep. Now it's time to go back to the farm.
It is.
That's all, folks.